This is Dateline.
Flying out of showrooms. They're supposed to be ready for almost anything with a price to match. But just how rugged are they really? Maybe they can survive the Sahara, but can they survive suburbia? Here's Lee Thompson with a Dateline Consumer Alert.
You know, sometimes where the pavement ends is where the world begins.
You've seen the ads, those rough, tough four-wheel drives. In the auto industry, they're known as sport utility vehicles, and they're one of the hottest things on the road today.
Heck, we've known that for years.
The ads say these four-wheel drives can take on anything nature has to offer. But can they handle what they'll run into here?
I think it will be a surprise to many people when they find out that the rugged car that they think they've bought is so fragile in low-speed crashes, and in fact can end up costing them a lot of money.
Chuck Hurley is with the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. The institute is funded by big auto insurance companies. Its goal to make cars safer and bring down insurance costs. Remember these tests last year to find out how well America's most popular cars protect you in a head-on crash? But for more than 2 decades, the institute has also been doing another test. This one at a speed so slow, injuries aren't the issue. To find out how the bumpers on four-wheel drives do, the institute set up a series of low-speed tests designed to simulate what might happen in a parking lot. 2 bumps from the front, 2 bumps from the back, all at just 5 miles an hour. 2 tests were into flat walls like this one, and 2 were tougher, into a wall at an angle and into a pole. Then the damage from all 4 fender benders was added up. So how did some of the 1996 sport utilities do? Just watch. This is the Jeep Grand Cherokee, the Ford Explorer, the Discovery from Land Rover, and the Isuzu Rodeo.
The pole hit the wheel structure first because it hangs out so far over the bumper. That forced the entire structure into the tailgate. As you can see, the tailgate is extensively damaged. This tailgate, frankly, has to be replaced.
How much was the damage?
The damage in this one test alone was more than $2,500.
When you add up the damage from all 4 tests, the institute says the Isuzu would have the biggest repair bill. The Chevy Blazer would have the lowest, but
unfortunately, it didn't do very well either.
Best in this case is not very good.
Best in this case really means best of the worst.
If the damage surprises you, this may surprise you even more. The institute has also been testing new cars. This is the 1996 Ford Taurus, same bumper test, same speed. And guess what? The institute found the bumpers on cars are tougher than four-wheel drives. Some manufacturers say their sport utilities pass the government's 2.5-mile-an-hour car standard, but in its 5-mile-an-hour test, the institute says the four-wheel drives have the worst bumpers it's ever tested.
Sport utility vehicles as a class did more poorly than any group we've tested for more than 25 years.
I think the customers that buy those types of vehicles are not that interested in bumper performance.
George Parker represents the Association of International Automobile Manufacturers. He says it's harder and more expensive to design strong bumpers because four-wheel drives are heavier than cars. Some manufacturers say that cost would outweigh any insurance savings, and bigger bumpers would not only limit their off-road clearance, but might hinder passenger safety. Parker also feels the Institute's tests aren't a true measure of many real-world accidents.
They're not rough and tough when you run into a fixed barrier at 5 miles an hour, but they are rough and tough in the real world.
And there may be another reason why four-wheel drive bumpers aren't as good as car bumpers.
There is no federal standard for utility vehicles.
That's right. The federal government has rules about how strong car bumpers have to be, but not sport utilities. So the Institute says the best it can do is test them and warn the public. Tomorrow, the Insurance Institute will release the complete results. They'll show that when you average the repairs for all 4 fender benders, the Chevy Blazer and its twin, the GMC Jimmy, the Ford Explorer, and the Jeep Grand Cherokee all had between $1,000 and $1,400 worth of damage. The Land Rover Discovery, the Toyota 4Runner, and the Isuzu Rodeo and its twin, the Honda Passport, all had repair bills of $1,600 to $2,000.
Once the public understands how much this is costing them in the pocketbook, I think they will demand better bumpers.
And four-wheel drives may not be the only vehicles with